Friends, welcome to Daring Marine YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about pistons in marine diesel engine and their types and material used. Two types of piston, that is crosser piston and trunk piston, we will be discussing in detail. So let's move on to topic. Piston. Pistons are the key components of marine engine. They work by transferring force output of expanding gas in cylinder to crankshaft. And pistons, these are directly exposed to heat and gas load. So the material of piston is not only thick enough to bear mechanical load, but also it needs to be thin enough to minimize the thermal stress. Okay, pistons are the key component of marine engine. They work by transferring force output of expanding gas into cylinder to crankshaft, and pistons are directly exposed to heat and gas load. So that material of piston should be very thick enough to bear the mechanical load, also thin enough to minimize the thermal stress. Okay, piston is a combination of two pieces. They are crown and skirt. Piston means it's a combination of two pieces, crown and skirt. Crown, it is subject to high temperature in combustion space. Crown, they will be subject to high temperature in combustion space. That's why material of crown is of high strength and resistance to corrosion at high temperature. Okay, piston, there will be two pieces. There will be crown and skirt. Crown is subject to high temperature. On the top we say crown, it is subject to high temperature in the combustion space. That is why material of crown should be of high strength and should be resistant to corrosion at high temperature. There are two types of piston in the marine industry. We can say there are crosser piston and trunk piston. Two types of pistons are there, that is crosser piston and trunk piston. Okay, crosser piston, these are using two-stroke engine. Crosser piston using two-stroke engine, that is our main engine, we use crosser piston. Okay, in crosser piston is not directly coupled to crankshaft. So the piston is connected to the crosser bearing by piston rod, and through connecting rod it is connected to crankshaft. In crosser type, piston is not directly connected to the crankshaft. Piston is connected to the crosser bearing by piston rod, and through connecting rod it is connected to crankshaft. Okay, here piston not directly connected to crankshaft. Here piston is connected to crosser bearing by piston rod. Through connecting rod it is connected to crankshaft. So through the crosser gates transverse stress is transmitted, so thereby reducing the side thrust on the piston. So the crosser gates transverse stress is transmitted, thereby reducing the side thrust on the piston. Okay, based on the cooling medium, crosser pistons are divided into two. They are water cooled piston and oil cooled piston. Okay, based on the cooling medium, that in the crosser piston it can be divided into two, that is water cooled piston and oil cooled piston. Water cooled piston is another old design. Nowadays it's not in use. Nowadays we are using oil cooled piston. So this is the picture of an oil cooled piston. So we can see the yellow lube oil inlet, and from there it goes to the nozzle and all. Then it will come out from the lube oil outlet. Here we can see bolt, piston rod, skirt and all. Yeah, this is the basic picture of an oil cooled crosser piston. And that. Then what are the common material used for crosser piston? Mainly crown, the material is cast chrome nickel molybdenum alloy steel. Cast chrome nickel molybdenum alloy steel, and skirt cast iron. Skirt should be cast iron. Then piston rod forged steel. So material used for crosser piston is crown, cast chrome nickel molybdenum alloy steel. Then skirt cast iron. Piston rod will be forged steel. Then trunk piston. This is used in 4-stroke engine. Used for our alternator, generator and all. This is using trunk piston used in 4-stroke engine. Here piston is connected to a connecting rod through gudgeon pit. Here piston is directly connected to connecting rod through gudgeon pit. So elongator skirt or trunk, they take side thrust to transmit cylinder end. So trunk type piston means it is used in 4-stroke engine. Here piston is directly connected to a connecting rod through gudgeon pin. So elongator skirt or trunk, they take the side thrust to transmit to the cylinder liner. So we can see here trunk type piston used in 4-stroke engine. Here there will be crown, we can see skirt. Bearings we can see gudgeon pit, which will connect to the connecting rod. Circlip will be there, then connecting rod and rod. Okay. Let's see what are the material used for a trunk piston. Trunk piston crown, there will be cast iron, and skirt there will be aluminium silicon AISI alloy or nodular CI cast iron. Gudgeon pit there will be carbide steel. Connecting rod there will be forged steel. Okay. Common use material for trunk piston means crown cast iron, skirt AISI alloy or nodular CI, gudgeon pit carbide steel, connecting rod there will be forged steel. Okay, but let's see what are the difference between trunk piston and crosser piston. Means difference between 2-stroke piston and 4-stroke piston. Okay, crosser piston using 2-stroke engine. It is having connecting rod and piston rod, and piston is rigidly connected to the piston rod, and side thrust it is transmitted through crosser gates to the engine structure. Here the cost and space required is high, and high torque will be there at lower speed, and there will be easier lubrication and reduced liner wear. Okay, crosser piston means it is used in 2-stroke engine. It is having connecting rod and piston rod, and piston is rigidly connected to piston rod, and side thrust is transmitted through crosser gates to engine structure. Cost and space required is high. High torque will be there in the lower speed. There will be easier lubrication reduce linear wear. So this is a picture of a closed piston using two-stroke engine. Okay. Then trunk piston. Trunk piston are used in four-stroke engine. They are having only continuity rod which connect piston and bearing. So the height and cost of manufacturing will be less. Then skirt receives side thrust from crank and continuity rod. Trunk piston means used in four-stroke engine, only continuity rod which connect piston and bearing, and height and cost of manufacturing is low. Then skirt receives side thrust from crank and continuity rod. So this is what happened in the case of a trunk piston. So this is a picture. Used in four-stroke engine. This is trunk piston is used in four-stroke engine. Thank you.